In Africa, it seems that we usually have a lot of progress that is masked by structural weakness. So, by this, I mean, it seems like we are going in one direction, but the truth of the matter is, we usually take a lot of things for granted. And instead of us being more proactive from a security standpoint, we end up just being the same old reactive people that we are. So, from the Gulf of Guinea, we see that we had Vice Admiral retired, let me get the name correct, Isa Yakub, who's the executive chair of the Gulf of Guinea Maritime Institute, come out and actually point out something that I think is very relevant even to us as the East African coastline. So he said that since the number of piracy incidents have actually reduced from the height where they were at in 2020, so 2020 I think was the highest the Gulf of Guinea saw in terms of piracy incidents. The number is about 80, 81 that they had that year. Last year, we had reported was about 18. So there's a significant decrease in the number of incidents. But he said that we should not forget that there are some new emerging drivers that might actually make the young people and a majority of the youth turn to these illicit ways. And he mentioned these drivers, say joblessness, weak governance, and dwindling fish stocks, because we see a lot of coastal community usually rely on fishing as a source of food and livelihood and making income. But the one thing that struck me is that there is a regional coordination body that is there, and from the time it was made when the piracy incidents were high, the post was supposed to have 26 people sitting on it. And he actually said that out of the 26 people, only one person is sitting in that coordinated team, meaning that because it is heavily underfunded now, because countries don't see that as an issue. And this is something that regional blocs in Africa go through the same thing. This is something that the African Union struggles as well, whereby member countries are not really contributing the amount of money they're supposed to. And we need to shift the whole conversation from reactiveness to proactiveness. And we need to start having conversations on security terms, on identifying indicators, early and leading indicators, looking at the probability and impact of things occurring, and looking at expert plus leading indicators plus historical to actually move and shift the mentality from reactiveness to proactiveness, so that some of these incidents do not really have to occur. And if we have our ears on the ground, having conversation with young people, working on giving them jobs, pushing for innovation, we find that the more people care about something, the more they really don't want to lose it. So now the perspective changes from how, like we don't have a source of income, we don't have this, so we'd rather just do the illicit too. We will not let anyone harm the illicit. We will not let anyone harm our marine environment. We will not let anyone harm what we get our livelihoods from. So we really need to change the conversation. And I agree with everything that Vice Admiral Isa Yakub said.